Hey one hail, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be looking at this. It is the Velocitron Speedia 500, Transformers Legacy Velocitron Speedia 500 Road Hauler. We all know him as Hauler. It's the Constructicon that never made it to being Devastator, never turned to the Decepticons. We all know this. And I was not interested in getting this guy, paying $8 more than I did for Grapple. Well, this guy actually ended up being a little bit cheaper than I thought, and I do love the mold, or I did. Let's see how this one matches up when we take a look at Hauler in the latest GotBot True review. Hey one, hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe, and while you're at it, light 'em up, baby. Hit that notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton, and it lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that in the description down below. Also in the description down below, and if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon, see what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course hit the join button right here on YouTube and become a channel member. And yeah, so I wasn't going to get this because I was like, I don't understand why green would be $8 more. But that's not what happened here. It was a little cheaper than a regular Voyager, and I do love the mold, so I said, you know what, I'll jump on it. I'll jump on it because I did also hear that he had some more paint apps than we had with Grapple. I was very curious if he had the same back pegging issue. Now, my Grapple has been fine. I've never had an issue with the pegs. In fact, I'm baffled how people break them off because I don't understand. And I've transformed mine many times. But I know it's a major issue, and I know it happened, and I know this guy came in alt mode. What was going to happen? How great would the robot be? How does he feel? How does he look? Well, without any further ado, how about we head over to the table and take a closer look at this guy. And yes, indeed, here we have the Velocitron Speedia 500 Road Hauler, or a lot of people just know him as Hauler. And Hauler was in one scene in G1 where he helped pull a hound up out of a ditch or off of a cliff or something. I can't remember exactly what the circumstances were now. And that was the only time we saw him. A lot of people have said that he ended up becoming Grapple in season 2, but over the years he became his own distinct character of Hauler, and I think it was E-Hobby around maybe 2012, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody can correct me if I am. I think that they kind of retconned the character as, hey, he was one of the Constructicons that was there during Megatron's awakening. If you look at that scene from G1, there's like 8 Constructicons there. He is one of like the extra ones there, and the other one has also been named. I don't remember his name, so I digress there. But apparently this was one of the ones that like didn't actually become a Decepticon, didn't actually go to form Devastator, and it was like, hey, you guys are kind of getting on the bad side. Think I'll go with the good guys. I wasn't going to get this because I said consistently, I don't understand paying $8 more for a mold I already have, except now it's green. Well, enter a couple of caveats that sort of change things a little bit. One, I was told that this mold has more paint on it. So I said, okay, maybe the paint can make up $1 or $2. 2, this was cheaper than what the going price for a Voyager has been in my neck of the woods. About $4 cheaper. So I said, okay, so it's not $8 more. It's only about $4 more. Maybe the paint will make up for it. I'm not sure. I'll have to see. So enter where we are right now. You know, did this guy kind of justify himself for the extra couple of dollars, or, you know, did I get a little bit fleeced, so to speak? It's a great mold. I love it. If you don't like it because the truck doesn't, you know, scale necessarily well with other, like, transporty type of trucks, then I get it. I understand where you're coming from. For me, I love the mold. The robot scales, you know, beautifully. I think the truck is good enough. Yeah, sure, it could certainly be taller, like Solar Storm Grapple or the like Classic Universe Inferno. They were taller, so I get that. But this looks so accurate to the alt mode. very quintessential, that I'm very happy with it. Of course, I've sort of rambled on a little bit now about the history of Road Hauler, so let's get into the guy himself by starting with his packaging first. And here we have Road Hauler's packaging. Again, this time he's green as he is with eHobby. And my understanding is he's able to like change his colors and stuff kind of at will. Well, not really at will, but like he does it a lot. So here we have him up here in his vehicle mode. Down here in his robot mode, you will notice that he has one hand and the other one is his hosey, blastery thing. I mean, the top is what it is. I'm not a huge fan of things being packaged in alt mode, but I mean, whatever, it is what it is. On the back we have the product images, as you would expect, and over here we have a nice image of what the dude looks like, and I even like that like his mouth is kind of open, because the head sculpt here does have an open mouth. It's a different head sculpt. We got some instructions, and I gotta say, I find the Legacy instructions have been pretty good, especially the Velocitron ones. Now, I don't have a lot of experience with the Velocitron ones yet, but generally I've been pretty happy with the instructions over like the last several new characters that I've looked at. And here, of course, we have the vehicle mode. I'm gonna try to not waste much time here because we don't really need to. We've looked at this mold several times. He comes with the exact same accessories as Grapple. The blaster, the piece that goes on his hand if you wanted to, and the claw. Instead of just the hook, it's like the claw hook, I guess. Here's the big thing that I think a lot of people were wondering. Will this guy have the same issue with the pegs that Grapple has? Now, my Grapple has been perfect. I've never had the issue with it. I don't really understand how people have broken the pegs off, but I do know it's a very common issue and that it has happened a lot. So something had to be done about it. We know it was changed for Inferno and Artfire. So what did they do here? Well, I am happy to say, and I'm not going to go through the entire transformation. We've seen it a bunch of times. Maybe I will. We don't really need to, but maybe I will because it's pretty quick and easy. But you'll notice his blasters here, this and that piece. So like, I'm going to just take this off. It's the exact same blaster we got before. This is black and painted with silver, and of course the claw, arm, hand thing, that can come off, and then the whole hook just comes down. You can close that up. But yeah, they pick off the back there, no problem at all. And once you pick them off, you can really kind of fold that up and fold these feet out, right? So the guy can stand up. You can take the arms and fold them around to the front, right? We've seen this before, so, you know, I might not do the whole thing because we don't really have to. We're going to fold out the head. We're going to turn around this piece, and then all of this accordions up, right? Up, down, and snap in. Up and snap in. And then finally, that kind of snaps down over the front. This comes down over the back. All of that snaps together. The only thing really left to do now is get his hands out and, of course, stand the guy up. The transformation before was, I don't know, a 9, a 10. I think it's the same thing. It's very, it's very intuitive and it feels very G1. If you know the G1 transformation, basically you know this transformation. It is such a gorgeous homage to that original engineering, but with modern updates. And here we have our boy in his robot mode. Now this is a bit of a weird one. First things first, I was incorrect when I said that eHobby had done this in 2012. That's not right. They done it in 2003 using the G1 mold. I did look it up kind of before we came back here. Now, that being said, if we go by the animation, that one scene from the G1 cartoon, this is obviously not a good color scheme. It's a fail. It's like a 0. It doesn't look like him because he was orange like Grapple would be. However, I would venture to say that him kind of being retconned as a Constructicon who, you know, didn't become a Decepticon and turned to the Autobots has really become like his most popularized type of fiction. So if we go by that kind of 2003 general release, this is pretty darn close. I mean, we might be missing a silver highlight here or there. Up on his like ear wing pieces, I'm saying ear wing pieces, his ear pieces sticking off his head, there probably should be some yellow there, but otherwise generally it's pretty darn good. So the only, I guess, glaring oversight that I would point out is I wish that his windows, instead of being like a translucency blue or a translucency purple, say, right? I wish he had that purpley Constructicon tinge to him, if you will. Nevertheless, based on the animation, it gotta be a 0, but based on the like I'll say 2003 recolor, the collector's edition. This is about a 9.5. So I don't know. Let's split the difference and say like a 7. It's kind of hard, right? It's very difficult to do an objective score for the color on this guy because it really depends on what you're going to use as a reference, right? I think most of us know him as this color. While I was happy using Solar Storm Grapple as this character, I can't deny that this is the popular look for him. The articulation, very much like the original use of this mold, and the other use of this mold with the head going left, left and right, and not much up and down, but the arms go all the way around and they go out. We got elbows to 90 degrees, bicep swivel. You can see how much hollowness is there. It's not a lot, but there is a little bit. The waist is tremendous. The legs go out to the side, to the front, to the back, thigh swivel. Again, a little bit of hollowness in there, but not much. We have the leg that bends up to 90 degrees, the foot goes forward and back, and an ankle tilt. Here's the thing, his mass, I don't recall exactly what it is now, but I do know that when I've looked at it with the others, that his mass has been right in Voyager territory at like, again, 140, 145, I think, something like that. So like, I look and I say, yeah, the mass is here, there's less hollowness, there's more articulation, everything feels solid. So I gave the articulation, honestly, I'm going to say about, I got to say a 10. I really do. I can't really think of anything else I might want. Maybe if I really wanted to nitpick, I might say hinged fingers, maybe? You know, does he have a wrist swivel? Maybe that's what he's missing. Yeah, I don't think there's a wrist swivel. So, not a 10. Let's say a 9. Let's say a 9. So, transformation 10. The coloration, we're going to say a 7, just to kind of try and be as fair and objective as possible, even though my heart says higher. And we'll say a 9 for his articulation. Overall, I think that this guy is a 9. Now, here's a couple of things worth noting, because again, this guy was a couple of dollars more than this guy. Let me just stand him up a little bit more. I don't put both of these out here. So what is kind of different? Why would this guy be more? Well, first things first, we do have a new face, and the silver that was applied to the face here is pretty sloppy. I have a little bit up here, I have a little bit over there. The face paint applied here, much cleaner, as is the eye paint, at least on my copy. Then we get to going down the front of the body. I don't really see anything else other than in here, and I can't tell if that is a black insert or if it's black paint. We don't have that here, and on the lower legs we don't have any paint here. I think this is a matte black, but again it might be a black plastic insert. Either way, those are two other new decos besides the face. When we go to the side, and this is really the side and the back, you'll notice we have the black lines here and the black lines here, but here we have black and yellow lines, black and yellow lines. Here I guess they didn't feel like they had to put the yellow kind of in here and up here because the orange is, you know, really kind of close enough. Besides that, I think all of that is pretty much the same. The back, if you want to see, is pretty much the same. And this side over here is again pretty much the same. And just cause, why not? Here we have all 4 versions of this mold. I'm happy with them all. I really, really like them. I will note that this guy over here, Artfire, has a reputation for starting to turn yellow on a lot of people, especially around the piece for the head and the kind of chunk here, back here, for the ladder and whatnot. So, I don't know. Be careful with yours, I suppose, is my is my suggestion. Also, just out of interest's sake, here we have him with Solar Storm Grapple, who is standing in as Holler. I suppose if you really wanted to, you could have them as 2 separate characters, right? This guy is Holler. This guy is Road Holler, if you really wanted to. And I put this guy in here because originally it was Inferno. You can see there's a new head on it. He is now a Headmaster. He's Hosehead, or I don't know, what's the Japanese name for the guy? Cab, it's Cab, there you go, yeah, I forgot, I had to take a second to look it up there. But yeah, so, and I love how this turned out for the record. So, great molds, all of them. The only other thing that I want to point out, because we already know this guy is a success, is this right here. So on the back, you may notice the peg right here, and you may notice the peg right, where is it? There. And you'll notice that on Grapple, the pegs are longer, they're shorter on Road Hauler. Here's the other interesting thing. I thought that on Road Hauler, that whole assemblage was the completely remolded part used with the two fire engine lads, but it's not. Their remolded part is still remolded. What they've literally done here is go back and remold the piece used on Grapple. You can tell that it's this, like, kind of, I say the same as that because of the top up right here and the top up right here. It's only the peg that's been shortened. So they went back, they adjusted the design on the Grapple with those shorter pegs. So there was a peg change, there was a new face sculpt, there was some more paint. Do I think it totally makes up for the slight price increase? I struggle with that. I still feel like I paid a couple of dollars more than I would have liked to, but I'm also very happy to have him in the collection because I absolutely love the mold. It's gonna have to be up to your call. If you get him and you find a way to kind of justify it, you think he's really cool and you love the mold, great. If you pass on him because you're thinking to yourself, he's a little bit more than I want to invest for what it is, I also get that. The two sides of the coin both have great arguments. For me, I'm really happy. I think overall he's a solid 9, but I'm probably a bit biased because I already know that I love the mold. Ooh, and here we are, and here he is again. So, I'm a big fan, right? There's no doubt. I think we knew that before I ever went over to the table. I was fine using the Solar Storm Grapple as my version of Hauler, especially since Hauler looked that kind of orangey color in the G1 cartoon in that one episode, in that one scene. And apparently his color can change. Apparently he's able to change his color and does it quite often. So the green is viable, the orange is viable, I guess. I do wish that the green on him matched the green of the Constructicons. It's a little darker. I don't hate it by any stretch of the imagination. I think it looks great. I also wish that the windows were purple rather than this translucent bluey color. But both of those are small potatoes. The plastic still feels good. It does feel a little bit different to me than the Grapple for some reason. The pegs are shorter pegs. They seem to be more akin to the Inferno pegs rather than the Grapple pegs. Mine, on my copy, they peg in and come out very easily. Like, it's fine. It's no issues at all. The transformation is still stellar. I'm a big fan. I like the other 3 uses of this mold. I think this is another absolute win and an absolute success. Let me know what you think about Hauler here, or Road Hauler if you will. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. You can check us out on Patreon. You can see what we have to offer to you through Spring, or of course you can hit the join button right here on YouTube and become a channel member. While you're at it, hit the subscribe button, stick around, man, have some fun with us here on the channel, and especially remember that somehow, some way, each and every single solitary day, you do make a difference. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights, at the stop motion premieres, or the old-fashioned way right here inside the videos.